So now we know how to insert halos in Jewelry Cad Dreamlight. Let's create some rings using our halos settings that we just learned about. Create a new file. I'm going to use a basic open solitaire template. Okay. Basic open solitaire, one stone. Let's call this trillion halo. Okay. So here is our template. Now I can create my open ring shank using this template. I could change my ring shank sketches up, mirror it over to this side, do my sweep, my driving curve loft actually. Okay, or I could come into the Jewelry Counter Design Studio and just pick an open ring shank from our ring templates. Okay, so in this case I don't actually need to use the template here. I'm coming straight in with an open ring shank. Okay, I'm going to pick the triangle. Pick the top datum. Confirm. Okay, there is our open ring shank. I'm going to blank out our sketches. Okay, I can actually delete this one. Delete this one as well. And I'll delete the arc. Okay, so here is our ring shank. Now let's come in with a gemstone. Place stone. I'm going to be placing a trillion gemstone. Let's give it a color. Gemstone type. I'm gonna change it to an aquamarine. Dimension it. Let's say 6mm trillion. Place it on our center gemstone datum here. And I'll give it a slight elevation, 0.75. Confirm the operation. There's our gemstone. Okay, in fact I want to show the dimensions of that ring sketch. Okay, so we have the dimensions here. Our ring. Let's change our display just back to the values. Okay, so we have 5mm up to our center gemstone. Okay, now let's place our halo. Navigate to the trillion halo. Okay, we have a 6x6. We can place it on our gemstone. I'm going to place it on the datum plane because I raised up my gemstone. I'm going to place it on the center gemstone datum. Okay, not this datum here, which is the datum for that particular component. The center gemstone datum. Okay, my preview looks a bit off there, but confirm the operation and it should return it to a more realistic shape. We're in our tweak, so we can make our tweaks from within here. Remember, activate it from there. Okay, our preview goes funny again. Okay, the one change I do want to make though is drop down my depth from girdle. Okay, because I want this to come down, cut through here, come below into the ring finger. So let's drop this down. Depth from girdle, just say 6 because we're going to be trimming it out anyway with the ring finger sketch. Okay, I'm going to confirm this operation here. It's a bit of a funny looking preview. Didn't like that. If we want to make changes, come into our tweak and we can pick it in here. Okay, so there is our trillion halo. Now we can see that our ring shank is going a bit too deep into there. Let's come into our design sketches ring. Actually, our tools, we'll use our tweak tool. This is still a component, remember, our ring shank. Activate it. And we want the opening, we're going to drop this down so that it doesn't intersect our halo anymore. 65. Okay, maybe that's a little bit too much. We have a gap here. 68. We can always trim it, but I like to drop it down prior to anyway. Confirm the operation. Okay, I'm going to blank out the sketch. Let's do an extrude cut of our halo. In fact, we'll merge it first, otherwise we won't be able to perform an extrude cut. Extrude, profile. Okay, I need to bring back that ring sketch again. You need that curve to extrude cut. Pick the curve. Let's do a two-sided extrude so it's to be cut. Okay, it's not going to cut into our ring shank since it's still a component, but it's not intersecting it anyway. Confirm the operation. Okay, there's our extrude cut. Let's save our work. Okay, so let's save it. Okay, I'm going to hide this ring shank sketch again. Let's hope I don't need it again. In fact, I should have trimmed out this shank to the halo prior to performing an extrude cut. Okay, because I may not be able to trim it when we have coincident faces like this. Give it a go. Let's first of all merge as a base our ring shank. Let's try trimming. We'll trim it to this face. And this face. Keep trimming shapes, confirm. Yeah, it's not liking that because we have these coincident faces. So I'm going to come back prior to the extrude cut. I'm going to delete the extrude cut, merge the ring shank, trim, pick the base, pick the shape this time. Keep trimming shapes, confirm. Okay, now we can erase these two leftover bits of material. Change the colour of our ring shank. Perform the extrude cut again. And look, I do need this sketch again. Unblank. Extrude the curve. Extrude cut. Okay, we're not actually going to be cutting any material from the ring shank there. Confirm the operation. Blank. Okay, so now let's pave inside of the channel for our halo. Pave, gems between two curves. Curve A, pick this edge. Curve B, this edge, surface. Okay, we need to be careful of the overlap. Remember, we can add in our own curves and trim them to influence this overlap. Let's see if we can get away with it by spreading our stones. And we can always oversize to drop down their size. Okay, we're not going to get away with it here. Exit, wireframe, curve from edge, pick this edge, let's change the color so we can see it come in, confirm, trim extend, pick the curve, both ends. Let's try a negative 0.5 to start with. Okay, we could insert our variable for that curve, but I'm not going to bother here. Parve gems between two curves. Pick the curve, not the edge. For the second curve, pick the edge. Pick the surface. Okay, this is looking much better. Spread our stones. Let's give them an elevation, say 0.25. Okay, I think I'm going to be happy with that. I'm not going to make any more changes. Confirm the operation. Okay, we do have a pretty big gap between our stones there. Maybe I do want to modify that, see if I can get an extra stone in there. If I drop down the oversize. Okay, I've managed to get one more in there. Okay, we'll leave it at that. Confirm. Let's add in our beads, gems and settings. We use the scaled prongs just to be safe. Feature. Pick our stones. We can try placing some end prongs. Like so. I'm going to be erasing this one anyway. I'm not going to mess around with the setting sizes too much because we know how to do this ourselves. Confirm. Exit out of this. Forgot to add in the prong at the other end. Redefine virtual prongs, virtual stones I mean. What we mean by virtual stone, this red outline is the virtual stone outline, and prongs are being added in as if that stone were there. Okay, so hence the name virtual stones. We can check out our sizes of our prongs here. Okay, so the smallest is about 0.52. Okay, we might want to drop our dome height down to 0.2. Confirm. Okay, so there are our prongs. Like I said, I'm going to erase these ones. Middle click. Okay, we can come in with our cutters. Tools cutters. Let's come in with the pilot cutter. Pick the stones. Okay, I'm going to take the elevation out. Confirm. We might add a few tweaks here. Let's see what's going on. Okay, they're going deep enough. I'm going to drop my girdle thickness down. Say to 0.05. Apply. Okay, it's really hard to get a preview to see that. Let's confirm it. Right, now we can pattern these around to the other sides. Shape, pattern, our base. Okay, we're using this method to pattern the circular. So we pick our base, we pick our components. I'm just going to do window picks, avoiding the center gemstone. Direction, okay, this is going to be the z-axis. We're going to want 3 of them. Derive spacing. Okay, I think we're good there. Still have quite a lot of space at these corners. Okay, so we might want to come in and decrease the amount that we trimmed that curve by, so that our gemstones come close together. Take our model stop. In fact, I can just open up the trim, right click. It wasn't this one, it was the wire. Right click, open up. Okay, this is where it can be useful to rename our operations in the history so that we can understand better what they are. Right click, rename, curve, trim. Okay, let's say the trim, edit it to be negative 0.3. Regenerate the history. May have to left click on it twice. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it's gone quite nicely. I'm going to even drop that down some more. 0.2. Regenerate. Okay, so let's close that gap up a bit more. I'm going to live with that for now. You can come in with prongs here. Tools, cutters. Let's use a component. Replicate. Let's see if this prong is wide enough. It'll do for now. Confirm. We're going to rotate, shape, move, component. About this. Okay, that seems maybe it was a bit too much. Right click, redefine. Say 10 degrees. Okay, we might want to move it across slightly. Seems not to be in contact with this stone much, but I'll leave it at this. Save. I'm going to hide my JCD datums. Oops. Okay, now we can merge our cutters and prongs. I'm going to merge my prongs prior to the cutters so that we can have some pre-cut beads. And just picking it all, knowing that I have the filter there. See if that's gone through nicely. Yep, now let's merge our cutters. Merge cutters. That's gone through nicely as well. Let's see how this has gone. Let's hide our mealy stones. There are our pre-cuts on our prongs. Okay, finally we need to add in the bezel. Gems and settings, bezel. We'll place it. Oops. Bezel. Trillion. You know it's a 6x6. Place it on the stone. Okay, maybe I moved that stone up a bit too far at the beginning. Okay, we're going to set this ring up for rendering, so I'm going to drop down our height above the girdle quite a lot. So 0.35. Okay, if it was for manufacture, you would want to leave a bit of extra material in there. Top width, let's drop this down as well. Bezel length below girdle, we don't need so much below our girdle there. Take that material out. Okay, bezel angle, might increase the angle there. Okay, that's too much. Confirm the operation there. Exit out of the tweak. Okay, I might drop that stone down a bit, my first move. Let's see where that is. Open up the stone, elevation, edit, let's say 0.4. Regenerate. Okay, I like that a bit better. Now let's merge. I'm just going to merge as a base. Okay, then we'll combine, add our shank and halo. Change the color of our bezel. Okay, we'll save the work. Check it out in a live render. Okay, I just noticed a missing prong here and here. It's because we didn't pattern it after I created that prong. So let's take our model stop out prior to our merging of the prongs. Okay, we'll come to our shape ribbon tab, pattern. Okay, we're going to pick the prong, component, direction, z-axis. Okay, it remembers from history 3 with spacing. Confirm. Edit the merge prongs. We need to make sure that our new prongs are included in that. Confirm. Okay, we'll replay the rest of history. Okay, so this looks good to me now. Let's check it out in the live render again. Okay, so parts of this stone are looking a bit dark in our live render. Okay, we can always come in and play around with our studio to change the render, brighten it up a bit. Okay, but I'm not going to do this now. I'm going to come in and create another ring using the halo settings. Okay, so let's create a new file. This time I'm going to use a basic open 3 stone ring. I'm going to be creating a 3 stone ring, 3 halos, 3 stone halo. Confirm the operation. Okay, so here we are. Now 3 stone open template. I'm going to create my ring shank sketch first of all. Getting my model stop down out of that folder. Design sketches ring shanks. I'm going to come in with a half round comfort fit. I'm going to replace the current ring shank sketches. Place them both, confirm. There you go. Let's dimension these. Right click, I'm going to show the dimensions. Right click, show the dimensions. Set my entity filter onto dimension. Right click, modify value, delay solve. Let's give this one 4.5 in width, and in fact I'm going to leave it at 2.5 in height. We also have to take into account the comfort fit. For the bottom ring shank, I'm going to say 3mm width, height, drop down to 1.5. So that will be a total thickness of 2mm, including the comfort fit. Okay, I didn't take off my delay solve. Let's regenerate manually. There's our update. Shape, I'm going to mirror this ring shank sketch across my side datum. Should be on sketch. Pick the ring shank sketch, the plane, the side datum plane, confirm. Okay, so now we can perform a driving curve loft with our 3 ring shank sketches and this driving curve. Let's do that. Pick the driving curve, profiles, they're the sketches, picking them at the same points on each profile. There's the preview. If you want the end caps, don't need to keep the curves. Confirm the operation. There's our ring shank. Save our work. Okay, now I'm going to come in with the stones to place on my stone datums. Gems and settings, place stones. The center stone, let's make it a 1 carat round that's 6.5 millimeters gemstone. Let's try a different color. Let's go for an emerald gemstone. Okay, the carat weight is not 1 carat for an emerald. We have a different specific weight for emerald as opposed to diamond. Okay, so this is about 0.8 of a carat, but we'll stick with that dimension. Okay, actually we'll add in the side stones now. Come to dimension. We'll make some 4mm side stones. I'm just going to place one side stone because we'll be mirroring later on. Okay, so there are our gemstones. Let's go ahead and place the halos on the gemstones. Halo template, round, 6.5, place it on the gemstone. Okay, I'm going to drop this length below the girdle down, depth from girdle. I'm going to drop it down to a 7 preview. Have plenty of excess there, we'll be trimming it out. I'm going to leave the rest of the options. Confirm the operation. Okay, we don't want to tweak. To place another halo template on my side stone. It's a round. Okay, obviously we're going to have to move this side stone out a bit because there's too much of an overlap here. Here's a 4mm by 4mm. Place it on the gemstone. Okay, I'm going to take up my depth from girdle. I'm taking it up so that it is not exceeding the bottom of my center halo, my center stone halo, because I will be trimming this halo to my center gemstone halo. Okay, this will make sense when I do that. Other than that, I'm not going to make too many more changes. I might drop down some of my parameters just since it is a smaller stone. Say 0.25. Okay, I'm bringing that up because it is a smaller gemstone. Okay, and this will do. I'm just going to confirm this. Don't want to tweak. Okay, next thing I'm going to do, I want to move out this gemstone and halo. So let's unblank. In fact, we'll just show the dimensions of our ring template. Okay, now this is the angle here that we want to play with. This is the angle determining the positioning of that datum, our side stone datum. Double click. I'm going to increase this, let's say 70. Okay, it might need a bit more than that. Let's bring back our dimensions. Double click, say 72.5. Okay, that's better. I'm going to be raising this gemstone up slightly anyway. So we're just about right there. Right, now let's merge these halos. Merge them both. We'll merge them both as bases so they stay as separate shapes. 1, 2. We have our ring shank. Let's also trim. The ring shank is coming in a bit far there as well. First of all, I'm going to trim this halo to this face. Keep trimming shapes. Okay, the side to keep is the outside side. Let's see if this works. Okay, there we go. We have trimmed the inside of that halo to this face. Let's do the same for this ring shank, I think. Well, actually no, we'll do it after we have mirrored across so we can trim the other side as well. Okay, I'm going to move these stones up a bit. We'll add in our bezels now. Move, component. Okay, this one, I know I want to move it in the Z direction. Not that much. About 0.4 maybe. Confirm. Middle click. I'm going to use this dynamic move on my side stone, and I'll bring that up as well. 0.3 will be adequate. Gems and settings, bezel. Okay, navigate to the round bezel. First one is 6, that's fine. Let's place it on the gemstone. I'll drop down my height above the girdle. Let's say 0.4. Bezel length below girdle. Let's drop that down as well, 1.5. Bezel angle, bring it in a bit. Okay, this will do. Confirm the operation, no tweaking. Add the bezel for our side stone. Okay, I've middle clicked, brought up the tweak tool. I want the bezel. Bezel, round, 4mm, preview, place it on the gemstone, height above girdle, 0.3, top width, 0.4, we'll bring it down. Let's drop this one, 1.5, get rid of that excess material. See what's going on in here. Bezel angle, 60. Okay, that will do. We'll confirm the operation there. No tweak. Okay. So now we have our center stone and side stone set. Now let's pave our channels. Save our work. Pave, gems between two curves. Our top one should be nice and easy here. Let's pick the edges. Surface, spread stones, increase our number. Let's give them an elevation, 0.25, maybe even a minimum distance to spread them out a bit. I'm going to drop the oversize down. This looks good to me. Confirm the operation. Do the same for our side stone. Now let me check first of all if we have complete edges here. Okay, we don't. Okay, so we're going to have to insert some curves on these and concatenate them so that we can have a complete curve running around each one. Wireframe tab, curve from edge. Let's change the color, pink. Concatenate these two curves. Okay, we have one whole curve there. Middle click. Do the same for these two. Okay, so now in our pave we can do our gems between two curves. We have a complete curve to pick. Spread, let's increase our number. Okay, we want to watch out here that we don't have an overlap into our halo. So I'm going to first of all give an elevation. Okay, that does help out our overlap, but I'll also drop down the oversize to make sure that there is enough room there. That looks good. Confirm the operation. Save our work. Now we're coming in with our prongs. Shims and settings, You can use the uniform prongs feature, overlap. Okay, this is going to be nice and easy. Confirm. Let's drop down our dome height to 0.2. Come in with our uniform prongs again. Pick these stones. Okay, we're going to have to add in some prongs at the end here. Overlap 40. Okay, I'm just going to stick with that. Confirm. Change our dome height again. Okay, they're all 0.5 in diameter, our prongs. The dome, okay, the dome height 0.2. So a dome height of 0.25 would mean we have a completely spherical half sphere, okay, because the dome height is the radius of this sphere. Okay, often you don't want to exceed half the diameter of the prongs, okay, because that can lead to self-intersecting surfaces sometimes. But the software seems to cope with it pretty well. But I often, to be safe, like to drop down my dome height, my dome radius I should say, to be half that of the prong diameter. Or, in other terms, the dome radius is less than or equal to the prong radius. Okay. Let's add in some end prongs here. Tools cutters, component replicate. Just replicate these prongs. It's not so pretty there, but we'll live with it. We may not even need that prong in there. Okay, the prong does need to be smaller, but I'm just going to let it be. Confirm. Come in with our cutters. Let's just use the elliptical cutters. Pick our stones. I'm going to pick them both. And I think this is going to be fine as it is. I'm not going to make any modifications. No tweak. I'm going to merge the cutters. Let's see if this works. Doing it all at once. Appears to have done. So fine. Now we'll merge our prongs. I'm just going to do these prongs to start with this halo. Middle click these prongs with this halo. Save. See how that has gone. Seems to have worked nicely. Oops. I'm just going to change the colour of all of them. Okay, we need to merge our bezels. Okay, I'm going to come in with a bright cut, chamfer. Let's change it to a more realistic number, 0.2, prior to picking our edges. Okay, something funny's gone on there. Let's exit out and see what's going on here. Try it again. Okay, maybe I picked the wrong edge. Okay, confirm that there. Okay, now let's mirror our components and shapes from this side. Mirror, pick the entities, pick the shapes first of all, then we'll pick the components. Mirror them across the side plane. Yeah, I forgot to mirror the side stone. Let's perform this again. Mirror. There we go. Save our work here. I'm going to drag my feature frozen down a bit. I feel the history getting pretty heavy there. Let's just take it all the way down actually. Okay, now let's do some trimming. First of all, I want to trim the ring shank to my side halos. Trim. Okay, pick the shape. Trimming to, let's do this face first. You can see the arrows on the right side there. Let's take a look at the inside material to make sure it is right when we confirm. Okay, that's done well. Let's trim the shank to this face now. Confirm. Okay, that's nice as well. Okay, now we need to trim out our halos to the ring finger. We're going to right click, show dimensions of our ring sketch, extrude, pick this curve, drag it out, extrude cut, specify the Y direction, specify our boolean shapes, 1, 2, 3, confirm. There's our extrude cut. Okay, and that's pretty much it. Maybe we want to add in some fillets here to give the comfort fit to our halos. Let's do that. Fillet. Fillet the inside as well. Say 0.2. Let's increase it a bit. 0.3. Confirm. Okay, we can add our shapes now. Combine, add. Let's start off with these. I like to do in stages, just to make sure it's going through nicely. See if these will combine, add together with our ring shank. Okay, it's not liking that. That seemed to go through. Okay, there's something that's not liking here. There are boolean tools that we can use to get this boolean. It's not a big deal. I'm going to leave it for now. We do have repair tools that can boolean it, but I'm going to let it be. Save our work, export rendering, paste the studio. Okay, it's coming through pretty dark. Let's merge our rendering studio as a base. I'm going to change the colors of these to grey. Maybe the background I'll change to a white. Save.